My last topic is a rather controversial one. Throughout these series of videos, I've made the point that copying is usually not acceptable behavior in academic writing. However, there are actually times when it is okay or acceptable to use copied text. There is a category of generic text or phraseology, sometimes called repeated or recurrent language in the linguistics literature. See, for example, articles by Diane Pecuari, 2008-2009, and Simpson, Vlach, and Ellis, 2010. These are text strings of 3 to 6 words in length that get used by writers in academic writing over and over again without attribution or citation. The key point is that these strings of text are generic in nature, and that they are devoid of intellectual content or creative thought. They are not distinctive. Even good writers use them. I have a handout posted on this site that gives you a very brief list of some common ones. This list is by no means complete. Some examples of generic text from the handout I mentioned include the following. This assumption weakens the present study. Considerable attention has been devoted recently to the study of. More research will be required to answer such questions. The purpose of this paper is to investigate experimentally. The results shown in this paper indicate that. The point of this type of textual material is not to steal others' ideas or distinctive intellectual contributions, but rather to link together the parts of your scholarly or intellectual argument. You can think of it as the connective tissue of your paper. It is not intellectual property, nor is it under any copyright. Being aware of this type of reusable textual material will help you learn to write more effectively and naturally in your discipline. In your reading of articles and books, if you see good research phraseology or generic textual material that shows up repeatedly, note it and use it. This is what good writers do, whether consciously or unconsciously. The difficult thing is figuring out what is generic and what is not, what is okay to copy and what is not. Keep in mind that using generic phrases is not the same thing as patch writing. In this example, which I showed earlier in one of the other videos, the highlighted text is distinctive text which was copied with no citation whatsoever. This text is not generic, and so should have been used, if at all, only with quotation marks and proper attribution. If you have questions about specific examples of text you wish to reuse, ask your advisor or a librarian.